being present in the moment, living it, but I'm not. Really, man? Well, you know what? Come to think of it, that has been something that I've done too. It is something that I work on every day, is being present in the moment. I'm Jesse, by the way, whole life coach, masculine embodiment coach, and this is the Valiant Lifestyle. I want to invite you to subscribe. If this is your first time watching me, welcome to this incredible episode. And if this is you returning for another blast of this past or this Jesse version, this version of video, welcome. All right. So the big question I have for you is why? What is keeping you from living in the moment? And is it because you were unsure of what that is? How to live in the moment? For me, I wasn't really sure how to live in the moment. And that was, well, what do you mean by that? And it was because I really didn't know how to do it. I didn't have any practice. I really didn't know how to identify with it. But living in the moment is this, my man. It is when you can fully engage in whatever is there in front of you without thinking about work, thinking about what your Aunt Sandra said, about what your boss at work told you about, that video that happened the other day, the wildfires that are going on in some provinces and states, I don't know, let's talk about some other things that are political here or not. We don't need to, because we want to live in the moment. You live moment by moment. If you do not do this, ruminating is living in your past. And there's some sort of something that is stuck there that is comfort. The subconscious wants to keep you safe, so it'll keep you churning in different patterns of what that was and what that is. And it might feel familiar and it might feel okay, but it's not comfortable because you're really not living moment by moment. And guess what? You might be missing out on your kids' lives. You might be missing out on your own life because you miss the actual smells that are outside in nature, or the sunshine and how the warmth feels on your back, or maybe that bonfire that you've had when you were camping and that you get to look at the stars and you remember what that memory and that feeling feels like. Maybe you're out fishing and what it's like just to relax, let alone the time that it took you to relax, to remember how to relax because you're still wound up. That's okay. That's okay. That is something of a story for me too. Get wound up in my head and thinking about. Lately, it's about wildfires and safety of others, and it's also about some of the other things that are going on. But what I do for myself with that, when I start thinking about these things, is I start to get back in that moment, that present moment, is recognize the feeling, recognize the smell, touch something, and be able to taste something. Sometimes I look for a little something to nibble on. And it's not always something to nibble on. Sometimes it's just a glass of water to make that shift. Why do you do that? Something you can touch, taste, see, hear, and feel brings you back to that present moment. Again, why is this important? Because you could have an entire summer ahead of you, but now it's behind you because you can't remember the feelings and the moments that you felt because of the things that were wrapped up in your head trying to remember what you had to do when you got back to work. Where that's hurt me is I have memories of my daughters swimming in the ocean and then realizing in those moments that maybe my dad watching my brother and I as kids was ruminating on his own fears and feelings and wasn't able to truly enjoy himself to be able to go down and swim with us because he was dealing with back injuries or something else. Now for me this year, it was as soon as I recognized what that was, boom, I was down at the beach and in the ocean with the kids. Because I really wanted to acknowledge that. I paid attention to what that was. It was an honorable moment that I realized that sometimes maybe my dad had done. But I wanted to course correct and I wanted to get through it. And you can too. There's moments that you're going to have with your toddlers, your new babies, your new relationships. And you're going to want to be fully there. Because if you're fully engulfed in your own thoughts and something else, you miss life. If this sounds like something that you're tired of, that you absolutely can't stand to do anymore, let's talk about it. Let's construct a plan for you. Let's get you out of this. Go to thevaliantlifestyle.com and make a giant leap for you to become even more present than you are now. All right, thevaliantlifestyle.com, book that 30-minute call. It's absolutely free on me. Let's do this. Ciao.